To acquire the Isn't It Scute advancement from the Adventure tab, you need to get a scute from an armadillo using a brush. You can craft a brush with a feather, copper ingot, and a stick. You'll find armadillos in all variations of Badlands and Savannas. Then just right-click the armadillo with the brush to get the scute, which also drains a fourth of the brush's durability. Keep in mind that you need 7 scutes to complete the Good as New and Shear Brilliance advancements. To complete the Good as New advancement in the Husbandry tab, you need to fully repair equipped wolf armor. For this advancement, you need 7 armadillo scutes and a tamed wolf. Then craft wolf armor using 6 armadillo scutes, equip it, punch the wolf, and repair it with an additional scute by right-clicking the wolf. You can immediately do the Shear Brilliance advancement after that. To achieve the Shear Brilliance advancement found within the Husbandry tab, you have to remove wolf armor from a wolf using shears. For this advancement, you need 2 iron ingots, 6 armadillo scutes, and a tamed wolf. Then craft shears and wolf armor, equip it, and remove it again by right-clicking the wolf with shears. To be awarded with the whole pack challenge in the Husbandry tab, you're required to, similar to the A Complete Catalog challenge, tame every of the 9 wolf variants by right-clicking it with bones. Every bone has a 1 in 3 chance of taming the wolf. You'll find the ashen in snowy taigas, black in old-growth pine taigas, chestnut in old-growth spruce taigas, pale in regular taigas, rusty in sparse jungles, snowy in groves, spotted in savanna plateaus, striped in wooded badlands, and woods in forests. Keep in mind, the snowy wolf only spawns as 1 and can therefore be fairly tough to find. Here's a quick guide on how you can use the pie chart to locate wolves easier. Make sure your simulation distance is set to a value greater or equal your base render distance and your entity distance is at 500%. Now press F3+1 to open the pie chart. Next, input the corresponding numbers next to tick, level, entities. If your pie chart displays a wolf, lower the render distance until it doesn't anymore. Always refresh the pie chart by pressing F3+1 twice. Here, I'm currently on 11 render distance. I lower it by 1 and the wolf disappears from the pie chart. Next, activate the chunk borders with F3+G and start crossing the chunk borders in all 8 directions. So also diagonally, always refreshing the pie chart until the wolf shows up again. Then cross one more chunk border than your current render distance into the given direction. I'm currently on 10 render distance. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Then just repeat the process until you find the wolves. So in my case, I'm on 6 render distance. The wolves don't show up here. They don't show up here, nor here. But in this diagonal chunk, the wolves show up again. 6 render distance, so 7 chunk borders. But then along the way, I already spot the wolves because they have just simply moved. This challenge grants 50 experience points upon completion. To complete the Crafters Crafting Crafters advancement in the Adventure tab, you have to provide a redstone signal to a crafter such that it crafts another crafter. In total, you need 14 cobblestone, 10 iron ingots, 9 planks, and 6 redstone. Start off by crafting 2 droppers, each using 7 cobblestone and 1 redstone, as well as crafting 2 crafting tables and a button. Then craft the first crafter using a crafting table, a dropper, 5 iron ingots, and 2 redstone. Place the crafter, fill it with the same crafter ingredients, place the button, and click it, granting the advancement Crafters Crafting Crafters. To achieve the Minecraft Trials Edition advancement displayed in the Adventure tab, you have to enter a trial chamber. You can either trade for a Trial Explorer map using a Journeyman Cartographer, or use the pie chart. Here's a quick guide on how you can use the pie chart to locate trial spawners and vaults. Press F3+1 to open the pie chart. Next, input the corresponding numbers next to tick, level, block entities. If your pie chart displays a trial spawner and or vault, lower the render distance until it doesn't anymore. Always refresh the pie chart by pressing F3+1 twice. Now you want to find the highest render distance such that the vaults or trial spawners aren't visible. Here in my case, lowering the render distance from 7 to 6 makes a trial spawner disappear. Next, activate the chunk borders with F3+G and start crossing the chunk borders in all 8 directions, so also diagonally, always refreshing the pie chart until they show up again. Then just cross one more chunk border than your current render distance into the given direction. In my case, I'm on 6 render, so I need to cross 7 chunk borders. Just repeat this process from your new position. In my case, I'm on 4 render, the spawner loads in east, so I cross 5 chunk borders east. Then just dig down in the resulting chunk. If you miss the structure, it's best to branch out into adjacent chunks at around y equals -20. To accomplish the Lighten Up advancement shown in the Adventure tab, you need to scrape a lit copper bulb with an axe. This advancement is easily done within trial chambers, but you can also craft a copper bulb with 3 copper blocks, needs to be oxidized at least 1 stage, and can optionally be waxed, a blaze rod, and redstone. Then power the copper bulb and use any axe to either scrape the wax off. Advancement doesn't trigger on non-oxidized copper bulb, which also grants the wax off advancement, or reverse the oxidation by 1 stage. For more info on how to find trial chambers without a map, make sure to check out the tutorial on the Minecraft Trials Edition advancement. To unlock the Who Needs Rockets advancement found in the Adventure tab, you need to launch yourself upwards 8 blocks using a wind charge. Wind charges are exclusively available in trial chambers and can be acquired from vaults or crafted from breeze rods obtained from breezes. Just look straight down, then jump and fire simultaneously, and you'll gain enough height to receive the advancement. For more info on how to find trial chambers without a map, make sure to check out the tutorial on the Minecraft Trials Edition advancement. To be rewarded with the Blowback challenge within the Adventure tab, you need to kill a breeze with its own wind charge attack. A breeze has 30 health points or 15 hearts, so 3 diamond axe hits and 2 punches are enough. While keeping a bit of distance, just spam left click, always aiming at the breeze until you hit it with its own wind charge, dealing the final 1 HP damage. This challenge grants 40 experience points upon completion. For more info on how to find trial chambers without a map, make sure to check out the tutorial on the Minecraft Trials Edition advancement. To complete the Underlock and Key advancement in the Adventure tab, you have to use a trial key on a regular vault found within trial chambers. You can acquire a trial key through looting the entrance chest, breaking corridor pots, or completing a trial spawner. Then just locate a regular vault and right-click it with the key to get the advancement. For more info on how to find trial chambers without a map, make sure to check out the tutorial on the Minecraft Trials Edition advancement. To complete the Revaulting advancement in the Adventure tab, similar to the Underlock and Key advancement, you have to use an Ominous trial key on an Ominous vault found within trial chambers. First, you need to acquire an Ominous bottle through a raid captain outside of a raid, unlocking vaults or looting reward chests in a trial chamber. Then drink it in line of sight of a trial spawner such that it becomes ominous. When you defeat all of its mobs, the spawner has a 30% chance of ejecting an Ominous trial key, which you can then insert into an Ominous vault, granting you the advancement. Keep in mind that this is the only way to obtain the heavy core required for the Over-Overkill challenge. For more info on how to find trial chambers without a map, make sure to check out the tutorial on the Minecraft Trials Edition advancement. There's 2 main ways to achieve the Over-Overkill challenge within the Adventure tab, where you need to deal 50 hearts of damage with a single hit using the mace. You obviously first need the mace, crafted from a breeze rod and a heavy core. Both items are exclusively available in trial chambers. Breezes spawn at trial spawners marked with chiseled tough. You obtain the heavy core by completing an Ominous trial and then using the Ominous trial key on an Ominous vault for a 7.5% chance to get the heavy core as its first reward. The spectacular way of achieving this challenge is to fall from roughly 50 blocks, or 15 with density 5. When creating a mob, I recommend a summoned iron golem. The second method needs you to right-click a parrot with a cookie from your offhand while holding the mace in your main hand. This challenge grants 50 experience points upon completion. For more info on how to find trial chambers without a map, make sure to check out the tutorial on the Minecraft Trials Edition advancement. To attain the Bullseye challenge within the Adventure tab, you have to hit the bullseye from a target block from at least 30 blocks away. All you need for this is a couple blocks, a target block, an ender pearl, and a rocket. Then place the target block 3 blocks up. Next, throw the ender pearl at least 30 blocks and right-click the center of the target block from the bottom with the rocket right before the pearl lands. You can also just spam the rockets. This challenge grants 50 experience points upon completion. To be awarded with the Sniper Duel challenge within the Adventure tab, you need to kill a skeleton from 50 blocks away with a projectile. This also works interdimensionally. Just build a nether portal at least 8 blocks away from 0-0 in the nether, then get a skeleton in a boat and hit it twice with a diamond axe. Next, go through the portal, remembering with a the skeleton is, then shoot at it. You might have to throw an item through the portal and step back a little bit for the arrows to teleport and kill. This advancement goes well with the Uneasy Alliance challenge, as you can do it in a similar fashion. This challenge grants 50 experience points upon completion. To accomplish the Uneasy Alliance challenge within the Nether tab, you can, similar to the sniper duel, shoot an arrow from the overworld into the Nether to kill the ghast. First, damage the ghast with a diamond pickaxe. Then either get it into a minecart or just build a portal somewhat close to a ghast. You might have to use a fishing rod to keep the ghast at the portal. Then just go through the portal, always looking at the ghast, to then shoot it through the portal. You might have to throw a couple items through to keep the nether side loaded and step a bit back for the arrows to actually teleport. This challenge grants 100 experience points upon completion. To unlock the Star Trader advancement within the Adventure tab, you have to trade with a villager or wandering trader at height 319 or higher. Simply get a villager into a boat and trade with it once so the trade is locked. Then attach the boat onto a lead and tower up a couple blocks so the boat gets lifted off the ground. Then jump off and glide slightly downwards, building up some momentum. Then boost yourself upwards using rockets, making sure the lead stays attached. Then just fly up to height 360 or higher. Next, glide down slowly until you can access the trading interface to complete the trade. Just make sure you rather aim too high so you don't accidentally click the boat, removing the lead. To complete the How Do We Get Here challenge within the Nether tab, you have to obtain all 33 effects at once. I highly recommend watching my previous tutorials on this advancement if you've never done this advancement before. Links in the description. As Raid Omen and Bad Omen require a villager, there are two ways. Either you place your shulker and conduit at a chunk border with a villager and its workstation one chunk over, make sure to cover it up, or you have the villager and its workstation at the conduit. The latter will require you to kill the villager during execution, which might take a couple seconds, and if you fail, you'll have to get a new one, but it might be slightly quicker to set up and you don't run the risk of summoning a raid at your setup. So just get a villager into a 2 deep hole with a workstation and hit it 3 times with a diamond pickaxe. Ideally, you drink milk after the execution anyways. Then you'll also need to set up the dolphin. Right next to the conduit, break these 5 blocks, then tower up 3 and 1 over, and place water. Then another 4 to place a fence and break all the temporary blocks. After you attach the dolphin to the fence, give it a name tag. Don't forget about the haste and jump boost beacon, as well as the name tagged warden that is 16 blocks away from the conduit. Double check that you get Dolphin's Grace and Darkness at the conduit. Also assure that you have quick access to a village, trial chamber, and monuments. There are 12 splash potions that you need, and these are the consumables. If you choose to kill the villager, you'll also need an axe. I also recommend putting the potion of infestation to your consumables, as you'll be throwing the potion right before the wither rose to drastically reduce the chance of any silverfish spawning. Start off by drinking the first ominous bottle in a village. After 30 seconds, the raid will start. Complete the raid for Hero of the Village. Next, visit a trial chamber and drink the second ominous bottle at a trial spawner for Trial Omen. Then get mining fatigue at a monument. Back at your setup, throw all the potions besides infestation. Now grab all the consumables and offhand the spectral arrows. If you choose the safer setup, you have to drink the third ominous bottle in the chunk closer to the villager, break the TNT while walking back, then drink the fourth ominous bottle in the conduit. Otherwise, just drink the third, kill the villager with an axe, drink the fourth in the conduit and break the TNT, get hit by the shulker and shoot the spectral arrow, swim to the bottom, eat the pufferfish sus stew god apple, then throw the potion of infestation, and lastly place the wither rose. This challenge grants 1000 experience points upon completion. To attain the Caves and Cliffs advancement within the Adventure tab, you need to fall from build limit to the bottom of the world and survive. You can easily do this advancement in the end without any resources, besides maybe some form of regeneration. So just fly above y equals 320, then carefully descend until you get the advancement. As long as you glide the last couple blocks at a rather shallow angle, like 5 degrees, you have enough time to react and get back to safety. To complete the How Do We Get Here 2.0 torturous advancement from the Blades and Caves torture pack within the Nether tab, you need to kill a mob with every potion effect while having every effect. This advancement was originally created by Wolfguy 2005 and Blackbird 6, but I updated this advancement to 1.21 and I'll provide a download link in the description. This advancement will show up after you complete How Do We Get Here, and I highly recommend watching the tutorials on that first. Links in the description. The idea is that you do How Do We Get Here, but use an instant damage potion to kill a cow that was given every potion effect. And you'll use a simple observer clock to dispense the potions that are 1.5 minutes or shorter. First, get a shulker to a chunk border like this with a villager and its workstation one chunk over, place the haste and jump boost beacon, and get the name tagged warden ready. ready. Assure that you have easy access to a village, trial chamber, and monuments. Now it's just the conduit, execution setup, and dolphin left. First, place the conduit a bit to the right when looking at the TNT. Now we get to the most complicated part of this setup. Opposite of the shulker, past the chunk border, dig a 4 deep hole and place dirt at the bottom. Clear out another 3 deep hole next to that. Then clear out a 2x3 area that is also 3 blocks deep. Clear these 6 blocks and place 4 fences here. Place a sign at the bottom. Place 4 solid blocks in such a T shape, then tower up 4 and make a shape like this 1 block lower using these 6 blocks to then place water. After that, place a lever there. Then place a piston facing down at this higher block. Place 2 temporary blocks, then an observer followed by a dispenser. Break the top block and place another observer facing upwards, such that the arrows point away from each other. Then break the block in between the observers and the one next to the piston. Then use 6 redstone dust to connect the lever and the piston. At this stage, you can get a cow into a boat, hit it with a diamond axe, and push it in between the fences. For the dolphin, opposite of the redstone dust and conduit, just dig out 5 blocks like this, tower up 3 and 1 over, place the water, tower up 4 more, and place a fence. Then break all the blocks to then attach a name tag dolphin to the fence using a lead. That's the setup complete. These are the 16 potions for the cow. The only potion that you need to extend is the Turtle Master potion using redstone. You also need a splash potion of harming too. These are the 12 potions for yourself. Then put these 5 potions into the dispenser. The execution is now very similar to how do we get here. Get Hero of the Village, Trial Omen, and Mining Fatigue. Make sure you're hungry and then throw the remaining potions at the cow without hitting yourself, and give yourself everything besides infestation. Grab all consumables and offhand the spectral arrows, then flick the lever and drink 1 ominous bottle at the shulker, walk back and break the TNT, and another one in the water. Get hit by the shulker and shoot the spectral arrow, swim all the way down away from the sign and eat the pufferfish, sus stew, and god apple before placing the wither rose and throwing the potion of infestation, turning around and throwing the potion of instant damage at the cow. Then quickly drink the milk. If you actually completed this advancement, you're an absolute maniac. Well done. This challenge grants 2000 experience points upon completion. Achieve them all. Advance to the next level.